we're starting off with the date. It's the 17th of November. Mars is at 29 degrees.
That's very critical
29 degrees of Libra.
Yeah. And it's going to be there until Wednesday. So for 3 days, it's going to be at 29 degrees.
And what happens then on Wednesday?
And on Wednesday, it goes into Scorpio. And the very next day, Mercury will no longer be in retrograde. It will go direct. So that will be pretty significant because we will have both Scorpio, which is very powerful.
Very behind the scenes. Information is Mercury.
Mars and Scorpio.
Mars is let's take action.
Mars is action. Mars is at home in Scorpio.
Yes.
Scorpio is things that are hidden and things that are beneath the surface. So it's going to be bringing things that are hidden and beneath the surface forward into our sight. And Mercury going direct, it's going to be communicating about those things.
I agree.
Yeah, we're going to be hearing a lot more about things that have been hidden from us.
Yeah.
So
depending upon where this is in your chart, if you don't know, you could comment your birth info below because we're about to do a reading. It's a Cancer Ascendant reading.
Yeah. And it's also a sun in Pisces.
It is.
Reading.
It is. But I wanted to, just so that people who are listening, if
you're a Cancer
Ascendant, you can listen to this whole reading and this will apply to you because we're going to talk about where Mars goes into Scorpio in this particular person's chart, right? And the Mercury effect, which is more information that was below the surface coming forward.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And
we're going to be talking about some other things that are going to be coming up and what signs they're going to be in and what houses are going to be affecting.
Yeah, and I just had mentioned the Mars thing because when a planet changes a sign, right? We're going from Mars in Libra to Mars in Scorpio. We feel a shift. There's a shift that goes on.
Right.
And so for Cancer risings, okay, this would happen in your home. This would happen in your 4th house. Cancer Ascendant, it would be in your 4th house.
Right.
Okay. Now, this person's chart we're looking at, we'll go ahead and we'll give out the birth date because, well, we have degrees and we have actual birth times for this person. So we're going to do an actual extended reading right now.
Right. So the birth date on this is March 16, 2010 at 2:18 p.m. The more accurate of a time to the minute that we have, the more accurate of a reading that we can give. So if you can give us a really, really accurate time, that's better.
Yeah, if you're new,
you
can give us your birth info. I don't mean to cut you off. You can give us your birth info. I think that's what you were getting to, right?
Yeah.
Just leave your birth info down below, and we give each subscriber a free one-time high-quality reading. Okay?
Yep.
High-quality reading, not computer-generated.
Right.
And,
we actually sit and talk through charts probably for way
I'm
longer.
Not saying damn it.
Way longer than you can possibly imagine before we actually do the reading. You would not believe all of the things that we talk through before we get on here and actually give a reading.
Yeah, we don't wing it. I wish we could.
No, we don't.
But anyway, just leave your birth info down below. For those of you who don't have an exact birth time, like I said, comment stuff down below. We'll communicate with you and we'll go from there. Okay? That's all you got to do. Comment down below. We'll hook you up. Again, this is a Cancer Ascendant reading. And you already gave out the birth date because it is an actual paid reading. This is called an extended reading. They're more affordable. So if you are looking to do that, you can just comment us and we'll hook you up. We'll let you know what that is and we will take care of you. Now for this individual, Cancer's going, I'm sorry, Mercury. I'm stuck on the M. Stuck on all the M's. Okay, Mars. Mars is prominent in my head because you have a 0-degree Mars natally. Now, what does that mean? Okay, this isn't an astrology lesson, but what I want to talk about is that when any planet, if you have your chart, any planet that you're looking at has a 0 degrees attached to it, the lower the number it is, the more intense it is. And 0 degrees is super strong,
intense.
super intense. And it's in Mars.
Yeah.
Mars is very assertive, very forceful, very powerful. This birth date, it's in Leo. So this person has the ability to be very loud when they want to be. And it's going to be just like that.
You crack me up when you do that.
I love it. Because I don't know what else. I've got to be it's like, it just, you see the lion where they do that thing. And
what cracks me up is she does not have strong Leo you don't have strong Leo in your chart. I have strong Leo on my chart, and I'm not the one that does that.
Okay. That's her perception of it anyway, that she doesn't do it.
I'm not the one that stands here and goes,
no, but because I visually have witnessed it, I am able to pretend and to show what it looks like.
Because I do it in real life,
yes.
But I don't do it like that.
There's a passion. No, but it feels
but it
like
feels like that.
It feels like that. It does. For a person on the other end of it, it's like, whoa. Okay, the tiger. Oh. So yeah, that's why I have to do that. And
there's been times where she's had to walk out of the room.
Yeah. So the 0 degrees Mars in Leo has this intensity to express and to roar, and it's just like, whoa, chill out. And I got to say, whoa, chill out, because the moon is right on top of your Mars right now. So today's date, did I give it already? It's the 17th of November, and you have the moon sitting right on your 0 degree Mars.
So today, Sunday,
yes,
the 17th,
yes,
this evening,
yes,
it's probably super intense.
Well, you're probably pretty loud. You might just be louder than normal right now. But I would bet it's really loud because, well, there's other things that are squaring it.
You may be at home yelling at the moment.
Yeah, there might be some surprises and shocks. And so we're chuckling because we know we're not there. We don't have to live through it. Thank God. But for the people who are around, just, this is the cycle right now. And it's the moon. Moon moves fast. It's not going to last for long. No, you're going to wake up in the morning, it'll be different.
Yeah, by the time you get up in the morning, it's all going to be over.
It'll be different. Yes, everything, the intensity will have lessened a bit. So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
And then the other reason I'm talking about Mars too is because Mars, like I said, is going into Scorpio. It'll be there on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And for this individual, it's I want to. Here's the Mars in Scorpio. I'm not only more inquisitive, but I want to seek out. I might start physically researching.
Yeah.
Because Scorpio is like the ultimate detective. So if this is in the home.
Which is a nice way of saying that they're really kind of nosy.
Yeah, because you have a great story about someone who you lived with in the home who was really nosy and who literally would go through your drawers.
My ex-husband was a Scorpio, and he actually went nosing through my stuff.
Yeah, so for some people, that's a violation of their privacy. And for others, it's like, hey, we're married. Like, what's yours is mine and mine is yours. But for you were like, no, that's nosy.
I didn't go digging through his dresser drawers, but he found absolutely no problem with digging underneath my socks, in my sock drawer, and looking at what was in my stuff. And I had a real problem with that.
Yeah. Well,
which is why he's my ex-husband.
Yeah. So this is just to give an example of how this could express. And it's Mars, so it's not like it's going to go there and sit there, but it will be there, and Mars will be there for you in your 4th house. For Cancer risings, again, dependent upon your birth time, it could be there for a shorter amount of time. Like for you in your birthday here, it's going to transition into your 5th house. So it's going to turn into something fun. It's going to turn into, how do I make a game out of this, or how do I get physical with this? Like let's work out, let's do something, let's run. Yeah. You have the sign of a marathoner in your chart. We're realizing as we're looking at this, you have Sagittarius in your 5th house. The 5th house is about being physical and sports and being active and having fun. And so Sagittarius being there, that's long distances, that's journeys. And well, we don't ride horses very much anymore, but yeah, horseback riding would probably fall into this area, definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely horseback riding, but long distances and journeys. And so I would say, take up running. seriously, I'm totally serious about this. Like,
Or biking.
yeah, running, biking, something that requires covering a long
A distance.
yeah, a long distance. I had another word in mind, but it wasn't coming.
With some physicality involved.
Yes, that will help Mars. Mars is very physical. Mars is energy. Mars is like, I got to do something with this. I can't just sit here. I need to be up and moving and doing. That's why, if you ever known Scorpios, they aren't typically the kind that just sit around. They always have to be busy. They got to be doing something.
That was the other thing about my ex-husband. Every Saturday morning at like 8 o'clock, he would get up and he'd go, "What are we going to go do?" And I would be like, it's Saturday.
I'm chilling.
First, I want to sleep until 10. Then I want to get up and have a leisurely breakfast. And he'd go, no, let's go on a day trip book. And I would be like, no, it's Saturday. I want to take the day off. Go, no, we have a day trip book. Where can we go within 2 hours? And we can get there in 2 hours and we can spend the day there and drive 2 hours back. And I'd be like, I hate being in the car.
Hold on a second. The Scorpio energy.
Yeah, the Scorpio energy was just like go, 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 do. And I was like, wait a minute, I need to rest. I couldn't go and do the way he did. So yeah,
that's what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
You know, like, I need more projects. I need to have more things to do.
I need to go.
Yeah, I need to do. So when you have that in the house of sports and fun, well,
yeah,
let your imagination run and use the energy. Use the energy in a creative way too.
Right.
You know, get out some paints, get out some stuff that you can, like, just start, I don't know, be creative, draw, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Start naming all the different, you know, artsy types of things. That could be in there as well.
Yeah.
An athlete
Definitely.
and incorporating some artistic stuff. You are an extremely artistic individual.
Yeah,
Extremely
definitely
creative.
So get creating.
Yes.
And be creative.
Please do.
You know, okay, so with that said, let's look at a couple of things that are going on. November 23rd is going to be a really significant day, and this isn't just for you, this is for everybody.
But where does this happen? So this happens, you said November 23rd. Okay.
November 23rd.
This is in your 6th house of health and work projects, school projects, daily routines, actually.
Right, and
daily
the way the setup is actually going to probably affect food for you. You might find that you might be willing to try some new foods out. You might be willing to taste some things you've never tasted before. You might be a little more adventurous in what you're willing to try. You might be willing to expand your food choices. This would be a really good day, a really good week to try those things. So be willing to do that right now.
Yeah, so that would be the 23rd, 24th. That's like Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, like over that weekend.
Yeah, that Friday too. Because
you're probably going to find that there's going to be some things that you're going to like that you didn't think that you liked. So be willing to do it. Be willing to take the chance. Be willing to expand your culinary horizons right now, because I think you're going to find that you're going to really like some things that you didn't think that you liked. Don't be afraid of them, because I think you're going to find some interesting things. So be willing to take those chances. You're also going to find right at this time that you're going to have a real desire to really speak out for yourself. So be aware of that. So be willing to speak for yourself, be willing to speak out, be willing to make the effort to say what's on your mind. Do it in but make sure that you do it in a way that you're taking into consideration other people's feelings, and that you're not just blurting things out in a way that isn't considering other people. So keep that in mind as well. But you're going to be voicing your desires and what's important to you. So think about how you want to say that before you say it. Think it through, and it's going to be really an interesting time for you to think about what it is that's important to you and to think about how you feel about things right now, because how you feel about things and how you think about the world and how you think about what's important to you is going to be changing a lot. And so it's really important to talk about how you feel about those things. And it's going to be really important to think about how you want to phrase those things. So you may want to write it down before you say it. You may want to think about saying it out loud to yourself before you verbalize it to somebody else. So think about those kinds of things. You're probably also going to find that you're going to have some pretty strong dreams.
Yes.
You're going to have some really, really strong dreams over the next week or so. Probably 2 weeks. So you may also want to write some of those things down so that you can remember them later.
I would think you're a strong dreamer all the time.
Yeah.
The way your chart is, you have your sun. You have a lot of things in the sign of dreams. A lot of planets there. So you probably get visual dreams quite often, and probably during the day have visions, or the visions will begin. And again, understand that having visions and seeing things, it's not about, it's just think about it as there's energy out there that isn't in the material world. That's not like this energy, that it's not 3D.
Physical.
Yeah, it goes beyond that. And so you can get information at this time in touching into that other side. And it's stuff that you just can't see, right? The hand goes over here. I still have a hand, but you can't see it. But my hand does exist, right? So I was saying earlier when we looked at this chart that the amount of energy that's going to be coming through, I would really like to see this stuff recorded in some way. So whether that's writing or drawing, or I said, heck, pretend that you're a person that writes screenplays. Pretend that you're a screenwriter. Pretend that you're a movie director. Pretend that you are an author and that you write stories. Just be that person, because it's like there's such support from the universe here at this time, giving you this kind of information. It's, it needs to be put on a platform eventually one day, I believe truly, for all of us to dip in and to see it. Like, are you the sci-fi writer? Right? I really feel strongly about that.
Or if you can audio record it.
Yeah. Good idea. Some people can't stand writing.
Yeah.
They would rather just talk.
I would much rather just
do
talk.
what we're doing. You could even sit in front of your, if there's a device in the house that can record, you can sit in front of it and just it looks like you're talking to yourself, because that's kind of how we feel. We're looking at this thing and, gosh, is there anyone on the other side? I can't see. But we just keep talking, because, one day someone's going to listen to it and it's going to mean something. It's going to connect with somebody,
Hi, Zoe.
Hello, Zoe. So we just had to let you know she's here.
She just has to put her tail in my face. So it's a really good idea to take some of these things that are coming through in your mind, that you're seeing and that you're hearing and that you're experiencing, and find a way to make them tangible, to put them down in pictures, in words, to capture them.
Yes, capture them.
Because I think what you're going to find is that you're going to be able to take those things and create something out of them, create stories out of them, create something out of them that maybe not right now, but later you're going to be able to tap into them and create stories out of them. I think about this really wonderful interview that I saw of R.R. Martin, who wrote the stories what was it? That series that just ended on HBO that everybody was so into. Anyway,
I wouldn't know.
he dreamt up these stories and he wrote them down, and then they became this long running series for like 7 years that everybody was so into, and it was otherworldly. And it's like, where do these ideas come from?
Right,
Well,
like the Harry Potter crap, J.K. Rowling, right? It's
J.K.
just like,
Rowling.
what
I mean,
the
she
hell?
as
Yeah.
a child, she was imagining this other world. Well, you have that ability to do that.
Yeah, you get information.
You have that ability to do that. You get that information. So you need to find a way to make that tangible, to get it down, to put it down onto paper somehow, or to record it first and then to transfer it down onto paper somehow so that you can retain it and have it.
And this is a process. This isn't like, okay, you just all of a sudden can do this and you know how to do this and it's clear and it's, no, this is a life. This is a living. This is a doing and troubleshooting and just beginning it. If you haven't already started something like that, we are really kind of hoping by seeing the potential here that you will, start, creating some sort of new system, some sort of new routines that will support something like this. And we're saying routines and we're saying new system because we see some new stuff coming by way of routines, by daily routines.
Yeah, there's going to be some changes in your daily routines that are going to be coming that are probably going to feel like you have to work harder at what you're doing. And so having an outlet, a creative outlet for some of these other things that you're going to be experiencing in your life, it's going to be a good thing. It's going to be a way for you to sort of escape from the day-to-day routines in your life. So I think that
Zoe is manipulating the keyboard. Keep talking. I'm just
so having this balance for you is going to be really important.
So that change that we talked about is December 26th. That begins a cycle. Okay, it does for all of us, but for you, it's connected to your day-to-day routines, your work projects or school projects, right? If you were an adult, it would be work. But if you're living at home and if you're going to school, this is this is school projects. And routines at school, routines at work, at home. I keep wanting to say work. And to me, it looks like, first of all, this is a very transformational cycle that's beginning. It's about a 5-year cycle. It's deeply transformational. And so that means you are literally releasing something that no longer works, something that you've already mastered, so to speak, something you already know. You're releasing it, letting it go to make room for something new that's going to come in. Okay? And it feels like it's a time also of recognition. At the beginning of this, I kind of said, when we first started talking, I kind of said it feels almost like someone's doing a graduating, like somebody's, reached a goal of some sort, and they attain that goal. They get to this point, and it's like, okay, you've succeeded. You've been trying to get to here, and you did it. You got it. And so you get some sort of recognition. And so combined with this recognition, there's a new beginning that follows after that. It's like, okay, we went to step 2. Now we get to go to step 3, whatever that is, okay? So this is a cycle. It's like a 5-year cycle. It starts up of new stuff, and it has to do with school. It has to do with the structures at school, with home, and the structures at home. With daily routines is really how we look at it. Well, if your daily routine is going to school, that's part of this, and being at home is part of my daily routine as well.
Right.
So that's also part of this. But it's structures. So maybe you're creating new systems, new ways of doing things, setting up new structures. Maybe you've accomplished the old way of doing things and no longer need those structures there. And so you're bringing and incorporating in some new ones. Because that's how it looks. That's exactly the potential that this energy has.
Maybe you have to set up a new routine that you go through in your day of how you get things done.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to set up a new daily schedule. Maybe you have to divide your time up differently now. And so you have to look at those things and figure out how that's going to work for you. So be aware of that. So it's all about time management and how you do that. Leave room in your schedule on a daily basis for some creativity.
Yeah, you have to have a creative outlet daily.
Every day.
Daily.
Daily.
There has to be.
You need to set
This is who you
aside
are,
at
man.
least an hour a day to just sit and be quiet and be creative.
Yeah, and if the quiet part, it depends. The only reason I say it is because we've got Mars as a factor, and Mars is
that's
all
true.
about being active,
Right.
right? So there might be some quiet times, but it's okay to incorporate times where you're physically doing something, because when Mars is involved, Mars wants to do. Mars wants to do, and he's in your first house, and he's always in your first house. This is in your birth chart. It's just that's who you are. Like, okay, we're done with this project. What's the next one?
Right.
And it's a creative project. It's in Leo. Leo is extremely creative, and you've got a ton of planets in Pisces. Pisces is dreams. It is creativity. It's about sound. So it's music, creating sound in some way. Okay.
Yep.
But it can also be, incorporating paints. It could be, drawing, tools. It could be pens, pencils,
Whatever
chalk,
it is.
whatever it is, whatever your tool is, whatever your choice is.
But do set that time aside.
But I know that vocal, like singing maybe, because like there's this whole, right? Mercury's there.
Yeah.
So using the voice, being vocal, is also going to be part of this. Chanting, singing. This is a child, maybe not chanting. Singing in some way, something that engages and that includes the creativity of you being able to be vocal in some way as well.
Well, that's why
So that could be using an instrument that requires your mouth.
Yeah.
Like me, I love playing the flute. I love to sing too, but I've been drawn to the flute. And so using the flute is a way to use my voice, but I have an instrument attached to it. Now, it doesn't have to be the flute. It can be any instrument, of course, How old is this person? I have to talk to mom and dad about that. Right?
Yeah.
So let's get on to some other dates. That was December 26th. That starts that cycle that lasts about 5 years because there's an eclipse there. Okay?
Okay. The big conjunction that is going to affect everybody happens on January 12th. And for you, this should not be a difficult experience. This should come and go with a fair amount of ease.
Not much notice to it either
Yeah.
on this day for this person. For typical Cancer risings, right?
Yeah.
Cancer ascendants, this would happen in your 7th house of relationships. One-on-one significant relationships, partnerships, business partnerships too. And depending upon your specific chart, if you have planets there or not.
Well,
This
if you're a
person
Cancer,
doesn't.
if you're a Cancer rising, it could happen in your 6th or your 7th.
Yeah, if we're doing a general, I'm a Cancer ascendant type thing, 1st house, then 7th house would be the Capricorn stuff where that would occur. You follow?
Yeah.
Based on a whole house thing. Obviously,
Right.
if you want the detail, you'd give us your birth info. But again, all you got to do is punch in your numbers down below, and I can tell you if you're a Cancer rising, so that you don't even have to pay anything at that point. It's a
Right.
matter of which video do I listen to for the month.
Right.
Like, so it would be smart if you don't know. Okay, so for you, like she said, it looks pretty uneventful.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Okay, so it's just a focus on doing things that are structured. It's
Yeah.
a focus on structured things, which we already know. We see that the way your chart is set up, structure has to be part of your daily routine.
Right.
Very much so. And then there's this little bit of freedom here, right, that wants to break out and have a good time and express, and that is that creative part. And we strongly suggest to be creative. I know we've already said it, but in the chart like this, I don't think I could say it enough. I really don't. I don't think I could say it enough.
Okay. The other thing that we wanted to mention was that when we get to the end of January, you may find that that would be the time that you may open yourself up to getting a cold, getting a little virus. So that's when, if you're going to get sick during the winter, that's when it'll happen.
Yeah, it seems like everybody has a winter cold. Right?
Everybody gets their cold at some point. The end of January, beginning of February is probably when you would be more than likely to get it. Just to give you a heads up on that one. And then the other thing that we want to mention is that coming down the road for you, we took a really quick look at when some really significant things are going to be happening for you. And one thing that we're going to recommend is that
I'm on the wrong year. I'm sorry. I do this every time. I always forget to click that. Okay.
Thank you.
No, I kept looking at like, what in the heck is she talking about? Like, that's why.
There you go.
Okay.
You see what I'm looking at now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get sick this winter, it'll be probably after the end of January. It'll probably be during the beginning of February.
Yeah, and I don't anticipate it being something huge.
It's not going to be huge.
It's
going to be, some little bugaboo, some little,
And it's going to be followed up by Mars being in your house of health. Mars is going to invigorate and add energy to you and your vitality actually at that time after that.
After that,
back.
once you get back from it, you'll
Yeah.
be fine. It's not going to be a big thing. But just give you a heads up, that's when you want to make sure that you take extra good care of yourself, that you get plenty of sleep, that you drink plenty of orange juice or take plenty of vitamin C, those kinds of things. Just take care of your physical health during February, and you'll be fine.
Well, shortly after that, there's going to be a time, we've talked about this before, and I'm going to keep talking about it, because during this time, there is more energy emphasizing the dream world, the sleep world. So when she mentions of feeling a little down, what I see easily is the need for more sleep.
Yeah.
Definitely the need for more sleep at this time.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be there.
Yeah, there's going to be, even though when you're up and moving about and doing things, I know this sounds like a contradiction. How can I have more energy? Well, because there's lots of planets over here and lots of planets here, and they square each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And these represent sleep, right? This is a sign of sleep. But if it's not sleep, if it's not I'm sick and I need sleep, it's definitely dreamlike stuff. Mm-hmm. So getting more visuals, being in a more of a daydreamy type of a state.
Yeah.
Right? That would definitely be it, because it's dreams, it's sleep, it's all this super Pisces creative stuff, and the ability to just connect into the non-physical realm, right? The hand again has disappeared. The ability to connect into that world. Now, there's a whole lot of information out there about that, and I'm not sure how much and how far you want to go into that, but whoa, your chart is really set up for you to be connected to that realm in a very big way.
Yeah.
And to be connected, to stay connected in the physical realm simultaneously, it's difficult. It is difficult for anybody who has that strong connection to both sides. It is a challenge.
It is very much a
and
challenge.
So I would love to see the creative side of your chart really focused on and supported and nurtured in a very big way. When I first saw this, I said, this person needs to just go to Hollywood right now. Just go to Hollywood right now and start an apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. Seriously, because I just see this abundance of focused energy in that area, and that would really help to utilize that in a positive way. That's what's really important. Find out how to channel that in a positive way. And that's what it is, man. Making movies, making stories, like letting us see things that our little imaginations couldn't possibly fathom.
Think about, science fiction. Think about fantasy stories. Think about all those great stories that are out there that are otherworldly, that aren't real.
Right, we don't think they're real because people like you can see these things.
Can see them.
You can hear these
you
things.
Can create them.
Right.
And it's somebody like you that has the ability to create them. So tap into that really great energy that you have the ability to tap into. And that's what we would like to encourage you.
And you're going to be
do.
all about, I don't mean to cut you off again, I'm sorry. Because of all the concentration of energy come February, all this stuff is concentrated in your daily routines and work. It's like projects. Let's do. And so just remember, creative projects, have creative projects and physical things to do to use all that energy in a positive way.
Right.
Okay?
And just as a last note, we're going to recommend that in about 2 years, you make sure that you get back in touch with us.
Yes.
Because what we see coming down the road for you in about 2.5 is going to be pretty significant. So we're going to recommend that you make sure that you get back in touch with us in a couple of years.
Yep.
And touch back with us so that we can give you an update and a heads up about what we see coming for you.
And it involves this creative energy.
Yeah, it involves all of this creative energy.
Gigantic downloads of information and visuals and just, it's just like I said, like I just want to see something really beautiful happen with this.
Right.
And I want to see this energy, this being supported for what they came in with.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I'm really excited about
Yeah.
it. Actually. So can we do a card? We're going to wrap this up now. We're going to pull a card. It'll be what are we going to ask for this card? What's this card for? This card is, what's your focus for this card? Just sort of a way to wrap all this up, or we'll just I'll let you figure that out. And just keep in mind, people, in general, this was a Cancer Ascendant reading. And if you want...
Apparently, that's the one that jumped.
We got a card. We do free readings. Comment your birth info below. This is G Allastrology. All right, what did we come up with?
Okay, we have Vanessa.
Here.
There we go.
Is it sideways?
No, there we go.
Vanessa, here, put it over the... There you go. At least I think that's a better way.
Okay, which says, to make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it?
Okay.
That seems pretty profound.
Yes, it does, because this whole reading has been a Neptune-inspired reading.
And
Pisces is ruled by Neptune, and this is definitely...
that sounds like a very Neptunian card.
Yes. So that said, let me go there again. To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to my divine purpose? Which way takes me away from it? And that's an angel on there, a Vanessa angel type card.
These are angel cards that I'm using.
Yeah. Very, like I said, Neptune/Pisces influence. Because your chart, my gosh, it's such a Neptune Pisces, watery, creative chart.
It is.
And you're a youngster. What was the birth year on this person? This person was 2010. You're a youngster.
Yes.
So this is so exciting for me because anytime there's a youngster, you can't wait to see
how
the free will and how are they going to use this,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Definitely. Okay.
You gonna pull one more, or is that good? You were shuffling again. I didn't know if that were you were.
No, I was just shuffling.
All right, awesome. Okay, so that wraps up this reading. This is G Allastrology. Bye.
Bye.